in the upper right here, folks. In the blue, he is for Genesis Gaming. Put your hands together. It's ArT.
And his opponent in the bottom left-hand corner instead, the Mauer himself. Make some noise for the man, ShoWTimE.
What time is it?
Oh, wait a second. My camera is permanently tilted for some reason. So I'll keep on casting like this. Well,
All right, so
it's time for...
go join my camera again, and then I'll fix it.
Oh, wonderful.
There we
That's
go.
some very interesting news. All right. We see both players going for the double gate start. None of them going for the low ground, one gate expansion. So going to go with the bread and butter build, we see.
Yeah, I think that's fair. This is, of course, well, first of all, it's game one in a series. There is no ramp on the low ground natural, so we're not going to see anything too crazy. But in ArT's qualifying run, you talk about this SOS style. He did get aggressive. We did see a decent amount of fair smattering of 3 gates, different robo-aggressive builds, things like that. So, I mean, yeah, we're going to have to see what ArT has in store for us. But if we talk about this game as a whole, Akon, or this series as a whole with the matchup with these two players, if you have an aggressive Protoss against the wall that is ShoWTimE, this is probably the worst stylistic matchup that ArT is going to play in this group.
Yeah, absolutely. Talking about a tough opponent. Of course, when it comes to a clash of styles, it always comes down to whoever can get the fanciest sometimes, especially in this matchup. And talking about being fancy, we were talking about the player being very aggressive. Look who's going for a very early Nexus. And look who's going instead for Stargate. Nexus is gonna come for ShoWTimE, but it's gonna be a little bit of a later stage. Gonna be ahead on tech, a little bit behind on everything else. And we see ArT going with the Tarlac console instead. So yes, we're gonna see a clash of styles indeed.
And as much as we talk about, okay, well, you know, aggression versus the wall, good luck. This is a game where I think we have to see that separation of styles. You can't just say, oh, you know, ShoWTimE, ArT, they're going to play the same game, 2-gate expand, Twilight openers, etc., etc., etc. That is a game that, I want to give ArT all of the credit in the world. That does feel like a game that ArT is very much not favored in. But if we do see this separation of styles where ArT goes quick blink stalkers, ShoWTimE gets that Oracle first. Maybe ShoWTimE gets defended properly as we have a single Adept on into the natural. Low probes are going to get pulled for now, so ShoWTimE just throwing that one away for the moment. And ArT, you talk about some aggression, Akon. It's an early Twilight, but he's not doing anything with it. That's just a gateway on the map. Wait, did he? He canceled his Twilight.
Yes, he did. With a little bit of a juggle behind this. Saving his probes from the Adept, bleeding out on a pylon. He had all the time. He cancelled it, and he's going very aggressive with Hallucinated Phoenix. He was able to scout the target out of ShoWTimE, and immediate decision to go all out on aggression. That is a beautiful mind game on the side of ArT.
It is, but he's got some problems on the other side of the map, because look at this.
Yes.
Adepts find their way on into the natural, so ArT, technically, 3-gate against an Oracle opener is a fantastic choice. It's not exactly a pure build order counter, but it's certainly not off 2 bases, but it's pretty close there. So losing those 2 workers, losing mining time, really not the best thing here. But now ArT, he is starting to snowball his Stalker advantage just a little bit more. He's sitting at a lot of, actually decent amount of Stalkers here for ShoWTimE, but it is only 7 for Stalker lead. Shield battery there as well to make sure that ShoWTimE stays alive, and the Adepts are still there.
Yeah, most importantly, you can see it on the production tab. Blink halfway through for ShoWTimE. Blink is such an insane upgrade when it comes to those kind of battles. Of course, shield battery overcharge is going to be the most important thing. But ArT is kind of on a clock run now, and he's engaging.
Tick-tock, tick-tock. ArT on the clock here, but he's going to run forward. Shield battery overcharge pop now, but 1 Stalker falls. Second one will join it in this endeavor as ArT continues to warp in more and more, but they're far away. That gateway setup is not super close to this fight, so ArT, even if he does technically have a way to break Defender's advantage, it doesn't really matter. It's not as quick. It's not as that nice ability to pounce on things immediately, but here come more stalkers here. That being said, ShoWTimE, he's dropped a stage trap as well. ArT has to be very careful of this. Don't know if he sees it just yet. He does. Okay. One stalker runs in. Shield battery overcharge is done. Now Akon, this is ArT's time, now or never here. He's got to make game-ending damage happen. He's losing workers on the other side of the map. And sure, he's going to get one, but a second shield battery is here now. It seems like ArT is not really pushing through in the way that he would like.
Yeah, absolutely not. Forced out of mining in his own natural for a lifetime due to adepts being so obnoxious from ShoWTimE. And now that Blink is done, you can see ShoWTimE taking the opportunity, and GG needs to be called.
Well, I was trying to hype that series up. I said, you know, ArT's been looking good. He's 3-2. He had a great series against Hearthstone, and I was lucky enough to cast it. It actually was a pretty good series. And actually, he won a late game, too, which was pretty cool. And then, well, ShoWTimE just hit him with a bippity-bappity-boppity.
Yeah, you know, like when some players are so good at defense, they can easily avoid being behind due to mind games such as the Twilight Council being cancelled. ArT took a shot. It was a fair shot. He saw this target. He decided to go all out. But unluckily for him, ShoWTimE already had a very fair idea in mind on how to counter that. He completely stopped target production. He had that stasis trap in his own main base that slowed down ArT a little bit, and he started pumping out those stalkers. Blink was ready. No chance for ArT.
Yeah, no chance at all. And again, ShoWTimE showing us that sometimes the best defense is a good offense. That worked because he was able to delay ArT by the adepts in the natural, oracles in the main, although realistically, the oracle didn't do much more than kind of fly around and say, "Ooh, I'm very scary," you know, and then he goes home and drops a stasis trap that also doesn't do all that much. But the presence there, forcing ArT to not just focus on his aggressive option, does make it really hard for ArT to actually make that aggressive option work. But we're going to move into map 2 in just a second, Akon. It will be Hardwire, that long map on the docket. Is this going to be a 2-0, or does ArT have what it takes to bring us to map 3?
Oh, that's a very tough prediction to make. ArT definitely has some aces up his sleeve, but ShoWTimE a bit too good at defending. Let's see what happens.
Caster saying he literally does not know, but wants to say something. Wants to make a prediction anyways. Wants to answer my question without actually answering my question. Thank you, Akon. That's the caster move. Yeah. Game 2, though, it's here. In the upper right, he's actually down one in this series. His 3-gate kind of was a flop. But for Genesis Gaming, it's ArT.
His opponent instead leading the series, ready to make the cut to the next stage. Can he do it right here, right now on Hardwire? It's Team Hour, ShoWTimE.
Well, in fairness, Akon, he has he's already made the next round. He's already probably even locked himself in top 2. But it's a matter of wanting to secure that first place seed. So he only has to place a seed 2 from another group. That's kind of really all that ShoWTimE is fighting for right now, and he's going for it. But look at this, ArT. Yeah, it is a cannon rush dropping down on the low ground here, trying to make. Well, you know what? If maybe the 3-gate didn't work, maybe we do a little more. Maybe we drop some cannons. Maybe ShoWTimE won't be expecting that.
Yeah, like, we were talking about ArT as a player, how he can be aggressive, and, like, it has been the name of the series so far. Like, look at this go. 2 cannons already going up. There's a counter forge on the side of ShoWTimE, who's gonna have a little bit of a faster cybercore. Pylon in the wall is gonna go down, allowing these little bit of an annoying dude, the blue probe, to drop down another photon cannon alongside the pylon in the wall of ArT. And what is going to be the answer of ShoWTimE? Double cannon, it looks like.
Well, we got to remember here, so ShoWTimE, by going for that counter forge, it means he does not keep his wall. He's not trying to keep his wall. Instead, he's getting cannons defensively around his nexus. So these cannons that ArT is making will never really quite push the way they want to, as we're starting to see that cannon get shot down. Here, another one, well, that's out of range of the cannons on the low ground. And now this cannon that is trying to go up here as well, will, even if it does complete, now he's just going to cancel it. It doesn't matter, all right? Because the cannon is there, it's doing a damn fine job. And even if ShoWTimE loses that forge, the push has been stalled out, right? There's a pylon on the natural, and even then the forge will not go down. The pylon on the high ground dies as well. This push has absolutely stalled out. Well, I guess there was a pylon dropped on the low ground. Okay, there we go. So at least that we will see the forge go down. But, I mean, we have cannons defending the Nexus. We have cannons defending the high ground. ShoWTimE has gateways coming up. This is a hard one.
Yeah, it's tough around here. It looks like with already 2 gates up, ShoWTimE can easily lead the charge with units. It's gonna take a while to actually make a move, but this pylon out of ShoWTimE keeping perfect track of what is happening on the other side of the map. And we see ArT drop down a robo. Just want to double check if ShoWTimE was able to see that. No, ShoWTimE wasn't able to see that. That might be a turning point in this game number 2.
I don't know, Akon, as much as you say, okay, look, ShoWTimE hasn't seen the robo, here's the thing. ShoWTimE has gateways, and ShoWTimE's production is going to be so nice that I don't know that a single robo is really going to make the difference here. It may keep ArT alive, but I don't know that it makes him less dead. As Depths are going to warp in now, looking to run across the map. Cannons finally fall, and yeah, ShoWTimE's Nexus is going to be a little bit delayed, but here's the important thing. Okay, resources lost is a little bit closer than I thought it was going to be, because of course ShoWTimE did get that forge and did lose a gateway there, so there is that. But now with these Adepts running onto the other side of the map, do we have anything in the mineral line of ArT? No, we don't. We have Stalker, Sentry, and yeah, you can force field the ramp. I guess that's going to be something. But, well, we're going to have to see what ArT can do. Can he defend? Because right now he is heinously supply blocked. And okay, there we go. The pylon does complete, but that's a long supply block.
He's still supply blocked. Yeah, that's a very long supply block. Definitely not what you want to happen. No force field. These Adepts are going straight into this mineral line. I'm focusing on probes right away. They're going to take 2 down. Soldiers are going to make it work, but yeah, 4 probes down. Probably going to be 5 very soon. That's very heavy losses.
That and losing the Sentry as well, it means that ArT's defensive capabilities eventually, if he wants to go and, well, if ShoWTimE wants to put pressure on, not nearly as strong. ArT is going to be in the dark because I don't believe, he has 1 observer on the map, sure, but he doesn't have that nice, quick, rapid map scouting hallucination that ShoWTimE can take advantage of. So ShoWTimE will eventually see that there's a robo on the field. He will eventually see that there's going to be actually a really quick +1. That's interesting. I don't know that we've hit upon that just yet, but this is a fast +1 here. And that may be enough to push ArT over if he's able to take advantage of his marginally faster Nexus, of this insanely fast +1. Maybe he can look to push through, but by the time his +1 will be done, and by the time he's ready to move out, I think we're going to have Blink done here as well. So even that, oh, well, I have +1 in Immortals, sure, fine. ShoWTimE defensively with Blink and Shield batteries, he should be able to deal with that.
Yeah, from on the side of ArT, it looks more like a way to, let's call it a comeback maneuver, somewhat trying to stall as long as possible to make that upgrade advantage actually do something when unit count starts to matter a little bit less due to the tech being overall pretty good on the side of ArT. But that doesn't matter, as you've been saying, that ShoWTimE won't make a move with his early advantage and call it a day. It's a comeback maneuver. It's a very risky one. His Blink is gonna be delayed. He's gonna have +2 started very early as well. But I'm still not sure how ArT wants to keep his dream alive right now.
Well, we're gonna have to see, because third base on the way now for ArT. It's right around the ballpark as what ShoWTimE is going for. And it feels like, and again, ArT can still move out. We're going to have to see. And in fact, ShoWTimE looking to put pressure on the map here with his Blink completing rather soon. I was going to say, oh yeah, we're hitting the 3-base handshake, but no, here come 5 Stalkers. Here come a couple Sentries. Blink is done. No shield batteries here just yet. Good force field now to knock 1 Stalker down before things happen in earnest, and ShoWTimE gets the cancel. It feels like ArT maybe had enough with his upgrades, with his Immortals, to make sure that he would be able to hold that, but the lack of a Blink and those force fields causing significant issues. As, oh, ShoWTimE blinking into the main base spot on the other side of the map here. ArT's heavily upgraded army trying to knock down these sentries, do what he can. But these 4 stalkers, they're doing a lot. 7 probes go down. It's going to be a recall of the Immortals, but hey, you know what? Nice thing of stalkers, if you blink up, you can also blink down, but he's just not going to go for it. Does not want to get trapped out here. Recall instead. So at the end of the day, ShoWTimE, he kills 7 workers. He denies a base. And I think that's about it. Yeah, he didn't get any Immortals. I don't think he got any sentries, but 7 workers denying the 3rd base. You absolutely take those.
Most definitely, ArT definitely needs to do something needs to answer to the play out of ShoWTimE. That blink advantage did everything that ShoWTimE wanted it to do. That cancel was magnificent. Getting the 7 probes, honestly, a little bit of an underreaction on the side of ArT. But ShoWTimE managed to capitalize on that. And now dropping down the explosional gateways on both sides. ShoWTimE has established an even bigger advantage than he did before.
And that he has. 57 workers to 46. He's got that. Well, actually, both have Templar Archives on the way pretty soon. Yep. But I'm worried, as you talk about, gateway explosions on both sides, the econ advantage that ShoWTimE has been able to build for himself over the last 4 minutes or so. I worry that will lead to just such a significant army supply lead, such a significant army value lead over the next several minutes, that it doesn't matter that this +2 upgrade is there. But for now, ShoWTimE, he has the handshake. He's happy with the fact that he got his 3rd base. He's happy with the fact that his upgrades are going apace. And we're just going to have to see where it goes from here. PvP is an interesting matchup, and that it feels like once you hit those 3 bases, it gets kind of hard for anything to happen. Okay, that's just an observer on the other side. It gets hard to make anything happen when you're on 3 base setup, and it almost feels like sometimes you need to wait until there's that 4th base going up, and then things start to get spread out a little bit more. So we're going to have to see if ShoWTimE wants to wait for that timing or take advantage of that, or whether he thinks he can break his opponent on 3.
And at this stage, it becomes really, really important to see whoever gets the most down with the Warp Prism, and especially the Archon count, is a thing to keep a close look at. Since Archon count is a very important thing, similar to Viking count in TVT or tank count, it's a very important thing to manage. And having an advantage in the Archons means most likely being able to win most fights. And right about now, we see 4 more High Templars incoming from ShoWTimE. ArT producing right now, it's I think 2nd Archon. Yes. And we already see where this is going with a +3 starting from ArT, and ShoWTimE barely able to complete, almost able to complete +2 and soon to start. But a big fight is happening.
Ooh, I like this move from ArT here. Yeah, his army is smaller, but he does have that lead. So he says, look, I'm going to try to catch your army in the middle of the map. If I can fight half of it, and then I can fight the other half, then your big supply lead, your big eco lead, it matters a whole lot less. And actually, ArT, he has his economy has recovered to some extent. He's got that 4th base on the way, but the supply for the moment is actually not all that bad, as ShoWTimE does warp in more now. And as you said, it is 4 Archons to 2, so that is kind of the big deal as we look at these charge lot Archon compositions. But ArT bringing more in now. ShoWTimE looking to move up the ramp here. Zealots look to run on in as ShoWTimE runs back down, just trying to bleed off some of the Zealots of ArT before the fight happens in earnest. But now here we are moving forward, Stocks moving forward, trying to knock this Archon down before it is ready to fight here for ArT and ShoWTimE here. One Archon's actually, a couple Archons are stuck in the back, but he's going to run forward regardless. More stuff, it does beat less stuff here, so the Archons, they're starting to pop like summer balloons. And 1 Immortal, all that remains of the tech of this army. I guess there's an Archon too, but the Warp Prism falls, everything falls. ShoWTimE, it took him 11 minutes after the cannon rush failed, but he takes the series.